Should you learn maths? Probably yes, but kind of why and how, that's what we will go into. So, should you learn maths? People will answer this question a little bit differently based on what they've done. People that do programming, a lot of them will say that, yeah, you do use maths, but you don't have to know a lot of maths to do programming. I'm coming from the angle where I didn't know any maths. Like, I did high school, went to high school, but I didn't take in heaps of the maths, and I couldn't remember it by the time I started trying to learn and self-teach programming. So this first part of should you learn maths, it's not just for people trying to program or whatever, it's for anyone. So the first question is, how much maths do you know? If you don't know arithmetic is your pluses, your minuses, your times tables, your fractions, your decimals. Do you know how? Do you know what a percentage is? If I gave you 15%, could you turn 15% into a decimal? Could you turn 15% into a fraction? If you can't do that, then you're not good at arithmetic. I couldn't do that. I wasn't good at arithmetic. So if you don't know that, the answer to should you learn maths is yes. Because if you look at knowing arithmetic, right? I spelled that wrong. Should you learn spelling? Yes. Arithmetic, if you don't know it, think about your life, right? I don't know where you are in your life, but learning arithmetic, you're making a little investment of time and energy here, and then over the course of your life, as you go through your life, there's going to be heaps of times where I knew this thing. You get into a situation, you're like, I knew this thing because I was good at times tables. I got this little benefit in life here because I knew what this percentage thing meant. I used fractions here, this here, this here, this here. So the little bit of investment you made here pays off over the course of your life. And for arithmetic, it doesn't matter whether that's in programming, computer science, you're in like electrical engineering, whether you are working at a timber factory, it doesn't really matter. Knowing arithmetic is gonna help you no matter what. So that's why I made this diagram right here. Do you know arithmetic? No. Then you should learn arithmetic. That's wrong. You should learn arithmetic. And if you don't know, then you should take a test, right? Khan Academy has this test right here, and I'll link it. So I had to go back and do all of this because I didn't know fractions and all of that. So if you don't know it, take the test and then just run through it. Even if you do think you know it, then if you run through this whole thing, it might take you a couple of weeks. But if there is some random things you don't know, then you'll find out and you'll learn it. So I reckon you should just take that and learn that. Now, after that, you either already know arithmetic or now you've learned arithmetic. And then it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do programming? Do you want to do computer science? And then the next question is like, the next step is doing kind of high school level maths, and that's got some geometry, a little bit of stuff like the beginnings of algebra, using the x's and y's and all of that. Do you need to learn this? A lot of people would say, like, if you're just trying to program, like if you're doing game programming, if you're doing web dev, that you might not need this, or you can learn it while you're learning. But I think about it the same way, where like if you invest that little bit of time in learning all of those basic high school level maths things, then over the course of you having a kind of long career in programming, it's going to pay off. So you should learn this as well. Otherwise, you're going to be going through doing different courses on programming and everything, and these people, they speak in maths. They know maths, and they'll be throwing formulas out there. And as someone who has experienced not knowing any maths, trying to follow this stuff and understand what they're talking about when you don't have that foundation, you hit that point, they say something you don't understand, and you have to pause what you're doing, go and look it up to try and catch up. You're constantly playing catch up. But if you just learned it straight away, you would just breeze through it. And then there's heaps of moments where you'll be like, oh, sweet, I know that. They tell you to make a program that calculates the hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle. And you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. So should you learn high school level maths? Yes. And there's another course on here for doing that, which it used to be called high school level maths, but now it's called integrated maths. And there's 3 integrated maths courses. So this will take you a while, but you should also learn this. Another thing, if you're not sure whether you want to really get into programming and computer science and stuff, then you should take a course, Introduction to Computer Science. This goes over programming and a bunch of other computer sciencey things, algorithms and blah blah blah. If you don't know what algorithms and SQL databases, how they work, web development, if you don't know anything about that but you think you might be interested, then you should take this course. And then after taking this course, you'll kind of have an idea of like what parts did you like and what parts didn't you like. So this is to figure out if you want to go further into programming and all of that. But yeah, you should definitely, if you do want to go further into programming or computer science, then high school maths, you should just learn it. And game development as well. I know, like with physics and stuff like that, you need to know high school level maths. Don't be an idiot. Just learn it, man. Doesn't take that long, and it will be worth it. Because there's so many courses where they lie to you and they say you don't need any maths, and then you do, right? I've got this receipt right here. So listen to this. Listen to this shit.
Unit in which we describe the knowledge whatsoever.
He's talking about prerequisite knowledge for this course, Nanta Tetris, which is where you build a computer from the real basic zeros and ones up to, playing Tetris.
Or practically anything else.
Now listen to this.
Now, I'm sure that many of you are wondering, what do I have to know in order to take this course? Well, the answer is, we assume no previous knowledge whatsoever in computer science, engineering, or mathematics. All the
No
necessary
mathematics,
knowledge
right?
that is required to build the computer and to take this course is going to be supplied in the course itself. This is a self-contained course.
Alright, you don't need any prerequisites. A lot of courses say this. There's heaps of courses that say this. And then this is week 1. Alright? This is week 1 of the course.
Saying if you first do x and y, or whether you first do y and z. Similar thing happens for OR. If you have x and y and z, it's the same thing if you first do x and y, or whether you first do y and z. Similar thing happens for OR. Another well-known law is a distributive law. If you have x and y or z, that turns out to be exactly equal to x and y, all that, or x and z. Now, as opposed to the usual arithmetic, where we only have a distributive law of multiplication over addition, here we have both the distributive law of and over or, and the dual law of...
What the fuck is that guy talking about? Alright, so, right, if you don't know any maths, like I did when I first started this course, holy, you're not gonna understand any of that. All of these programming courses, they say you don't need maths, but they don't realize the gaps that some people have in their maths, you know, and they take it for granted, like that what they're saying us peasants can understand. So yeah, this isn't the only course that I noticed that did this. So after running into stuff like this happening all the time, that's when I decided to start learning some maths. And if you're going to be taking courses, if you're going to be, you know, doing anything, if you're going to be living life, you should learn arithmetic. And if you're going to be getting into programming or computer science at all, you should be learning high school level maths and algebra and all of that. Some different ways you can learn. Khan Academy is pretty good. I was looking at that Math Sorcerer dude on YouTube. He says some books you can use. This one I bought, but it's trash. Khan Academy is better than using that book. And then, yeah, later on as well, once you get further, there's another book that Math Sorcerer dude said to get. This one's about discrete mathematics. If you're going to go further into computer science or understand how computers and all of that work properly, then I think that's pretty good to learn as well. But I'm hardly any way through that, only up to like chapter 1 or something, because I'm still working on my high school maths. But yeah, thank you for coming to my bloody TED talk. This has been Should You Learn Maths? And yeah, the answer is yes. Alright, cool.